Hi, I'm David Pollandine. I work for International Justice Mission Canada in the Prairies, and I just want to share a few updates from around the world with IJM, especially in this time of COVID-19. And it's something I'll do every couple of weeks. And I want to take you now on a little trip to my post box. It's a walk I do every day, and probably would have been one of those things before that would have been hard to squeeze into the day, but now it's become a bit of the main event. And that's because we're all in a new normal, aren't we? I know for us, my wife's at home working on the computer upstairs teaching, my children are in their own rooms doing Google Classroom, and I'm usually in the basement. And yeah, we've kind of been in lockdown, haven't we, for so long. And as we think about the summer and getting out and doing stuff, it's quite hard to know where we're going to go, isn't it, for our holidays? Well, these are the things we're having to think about. But do you know, people around the world that we work with who are in lockdown are actually in a very difficult situation. For some women and children, they are in fact locked in with their abusers. And so we've seen this talking to our partners and to governments, that while the focus has been on the effects of COVID-19, and rightly so, what we haven't taken into consideration is the increase in violence. We've seen that actually in our own field work. So for example, in Uganda, the National Child Helpline usually on average reports about 248 calls a month. Well, during COVID-19 in one day, they saw 900 calls. So this is a really big problem, but it's not something that we're not aware of, and it's something we are addressing at IJM. And so I'd love to share that with you. And so I'm going to just go to the post box here, and then I'll go to another location, and we can look at some of the things we can do as well to help. So see you in a little while. Here I am with my shades and my cap because the weather is so glorious. And I've found a trench. It's probably a drainage ditch. Why have I come here? Well, because IJM get proximate to the people we serve. And so we're responding to COVID-19 in three ways. First of all, an immediate response, which is relief now to people who are suffering from the pandemic. Secondly, it's a near-term response, which is mobilising protection for people in lockdown. And thirdly, a long-term response, equipping governments to solve the problem of violence against the poor. For example, for an immediate response, in Chiang Mai, IJM and local community network distributed hundreds of masks, hand gel and health education. For a near-term response, in Dominican Republic, amid COVID-19, a minor and 5 women were rescued from sex trafficking and 5 arrests were made. For a long-term response, we continue to equip governments with virtual trainings and webinars, with the end to rescue and restore victims of violence, to restrain perpetrators and to rebuild justice systems. And so we are committed to training our government partners and finding ingenious ways to bring about justice during this pandemic. In South Asia, we saw a leading trafficker have his bail refused through a court hearing via Zoom. So why are people unsafe in lockdown? Well, it's because abusers, perpetrators are acting with impunity. They think the police are looking elsewhere, and so they won't be caught. But in Luzon City in the Philippines, the police did come knocking. In fact, they got together with the help of IJM an inquiry, the first time that it was ever done online. And then they managed to get also a digital search warrant, again, the first of its kind. And they went to the property, they were able to seize computers. They found the perpetrator and arrested her. And then they found 7 children who they were able to bring into care for trauma counselling. 4 of those children belonged to the perpetrator. IJM are currently running a campaign called Unsafe in Lockdown, and if you go to Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and just tap in hashtag Unsafe in Lockdown, there you can go to the site, you can see some great stories that you can share breaking news videos, you can leave a donation, and please do leave a comment or get in touch with me by email on dpollandine@igm.ca. So I've just come up out of the trench, and in doing so it just made me realise that for many people around the world in lockdown, especially with their abusers, they don't have that freedom just to be able to leave their situation. And so I just want to take this time to thank you, our donors and supporters, for the help that you give IJM in protecting the poor from violence, especially during COVID-19. Whether that's raising awareness through social media, through just talking about it with people, whether that's through your prayers, or whether that's through your giving. We are just so grateful for your collaboration and partnership. And simply people would not get rescue and restoration if we didn't have that, and perpetrators would remain acting with impunity. So thank you. God bless, take care, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.